Hiya, welcome to my first ever YouTube video. This is exciting. There's been lots of work going on around the house today, so I have not been able to sit down and film as much as I would have liked to. And now I've gotten to that point where the sun's about to go down. So we're going to film a little bit as an introduction. I'm going to show you this notebook and then I will go from there. There will probably be some better clips in the future, but sometimes you just have to start. So I'm just going to start. And sometimes you have to do it while you're a bit nervous because, yeah, otherwise you just won't do it. So there you go. Do it scared. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not that scared. It's going to be fine. But yeah, that's what's going on. And these are my hands. If they look a bit red, that's because they are. That's just the way of it. I can't get rid of it, so I'm sorry if that annoys you. But yeah, that is just the way things are. I'm gonna show you this book, and then in future videos I will show you my journal evolution, where I'll show you everything from 2017 up until now. So that video is coming. It just won't be this, because I thought it would be good to do an introduction and show you the book that I'm currently using. That makes sense to me. So yeah, this is what we've got. I've currently got the brownie plaid Hobonichi cover on, and I use that for autumn and winter so that I don't get bored of my proper big leather cover when I use that in 2025. I can show you that. It's already got the book in it. And I added this. A little bit of novelty without having to buy a whole new cover for the new year. It's got the book in it. So yeah. Here's the book. This is one of my stickers, which is nice because it holds the bit of Snoopy paper in place. So that's what I've got. And here's what's currently in the notebook. I have some pockets in the cover, which houses my little reading list. It's not that big because this is only July to December. I had a flashcard with all my ones from January to June that I stuck in the other book. So that's part of the book. When this one's done, I'll tuck that in the inside cover here. And that's where that will live. But for now it lives here. And I have all my passwords here. You don't get to see them. But that's what's in there. And then I have a little gloomy print from Megan Rhiannon. I'm sure you know who she is. And a little Polaroid. I always try to keep a Polaroid of the cat because that's nice. So yeah, and a sticker I made for Halloween. I've been thinking of changing that up for November. Just haven't got around to that yet. But I think it's always nice to carry on the spooky themes of October into November, because why not? And this is the cover. I really like how I decorated this. They seem to get better every time I decorate them. And in the journal evolution video, I'll show you the ones of the past, so you can see kind of how I've gotten used to decorating with them. And here is the first page. It's not really a page, it's more of a cover. And on the inside cover, I've put some of the stickers I've made, and that's really nice. And then all the other little stickers that I've found and like the look of, and it's just something nice to open the book to, really. Everyone does that, I'm sure, that you find stickers and you stick them in, and I've got a nice little book plate here with my name on it. Woohoo. Now I've got to be careful because there's pages that I don't really want on the internet, and I'm sure you can understand that, but I always feel like I need to be like, oh sorry, I'm not showing you that. But I probably don't. I'll start with the daily pages because the weekly pages are very much just what I do each day, and I might read through them and see if I can find one that I'll show you, maybe for this video. And so you can see roughly what I do. I basically just decorate and then fill in the whole column. That's usually what happens of what I do each day. But the daily pages for me are more free for anything. And this is where it begins in this book. I'm lying, actually. This is where it begins. I keep a key and I can go through my entire system maybe for a 2025 notebook update video. I think that would be nice. But you'll see more of this in the future is what I'm saying. I won't go through it now because this is just a little introduction. But yeah, I always write out my intentions for the book whenever I make a book. I don't make them. Whenever I write in a book, I'll set out my intentions. And then we start here. And I've really enjoyed using the cover pages for these books. And yeah, I think they get better every time. I think there's only one in this book that I didn't really like, and that was October's. But that was because it was on the other side of the page, which is never my favourite. I prefer it to be on this side of the page. But sometimes you just have to put up with it. And I think I got better at decorating it by November, so I can show you November's. I won't show you October's because it was a bit rubbish. And that's okay. You can make rubbish things and it'd be okay. Now, here, I can show you this one. I do reading journals. Reading journals? Reading journal pages in my journal. And this is the first one that I read. It was the first on the list, The Bell Jar. And there's Sylvia Plath. And I just thought, I always have too many thoughts when I read a book, so I like to be able to go in and show you... That didn't make any sense. What am I trying to say? I like to go in and write about what I've read, because it's just the way you do it, isn't it? No. What am I trying to say? Whenever I read a book, I have loads of thoughts, is what I'm trying to say. And so I like to write out quotes sometimes. That's something I do, which is in keeping with the kind of commonplacey values of a book like this. And then I write my own thoughts, and that's nice. I always use the brown tag for something that's related to reading, and I like having that as a section of this book. I keep everything in one book, so it all goes in one place, and that's nice. I've never been very good at having an attachment to more than one book at a time. That being said, for next year I do have a few sketchbooks and also an appendix which is attached to this book and is just for the random stuff that I don't want anywhere near this book. So yeah, what else can I show you? Woohoo! Chaos page. I started doing chaos pages this year, which is just a silly way of saying that I kind of experiment with layouts more than I usually would. And it's not that I don't normally, but I like having pages dedicated to the rules just being out the window, and I can draw lines across blocks of text, and I can make things more messy, more layered, and that's always nice. And these chaos pages are always aimed at kind of framing a time period. So I will talk about what I'm reading or listening to. Statement from Susan Sontag's Notes on Camp. I was reading that. So that's what I've got in here. And what vinyl I've picked up and all that. And then just like really random notes about things I've bought for the journal, usually as well, that don't really have any purpose, but sometimes you have to kind of extract your own thoughts and put them somewhere else that aren't your head. So that's what I do. It's that kind of there's a word I'm looking for, kind of extrapolate them, kind of put them somewhere else. And so thoughts really transform when you try and put them somewhere else that's not your head. So that's what I try to capture in a journal most of the time. See what else I can show you. I can show you this one. This is another chaotic one, but I like this page. Sometimes you just need to draw like swirls in ink and write about sea serpents, because why not? I thought about sea serpents a lot this year, so it seemed only fitting that a page was dedicated to them, and that's usually how it works, is that I find something and dedicate a page to them. I do a monthly playlist every month. Of course, that's how monthly things work, but you know what I mean. I usually try and capture, it's a good like meditative thing when you just want to write and you don't know what to write, but you don't want to think about what you're writing. It's good to kind of record something, which is why I think commonplacing in general is a good way to go about things, because you sometimes don't need to be writing the most original thing that's ever come to your head. You can just write about what someone else has wrote, or you can write down something that's just information based with little to no emotional investment at all, which is what the playlists are usually about. I usually get to a point in the month where I think I want to write something, but I don't know what to write, and then I write out the playlist, and that's how it works. So that's what I do. I can show you this one. We are moving on to August, and that's exciting. I really enjoyed this cover page. There was something about this month that I think it has such English summer kind of inspiration that I just love it. I really like this page. There was something about the stamps that just matched the kind of, I had a Jane Austen ephemera pack, which is just pages from a Jane Austen or Regency period books that I've recently ordered another one of them. If I have the link, I'll put them in the description because they're really good. And I buy one every so often and use all the scraps from that. But everything matched perfectly in this one. And I've got some of the little gargoyles that I make. So that was exciting. There's a good page. And I wrote about books, which is one of my favourite things to do. Let's see what else I can rustle up that's not like all of my emotions. Here we go. Woohoo. This is a nice one. I think I did this one on holiday, which is one of my favourite things to do. I kind of create a memory in whatever place we're going on holiday by doing a journal page in that, and then I look at the journal page later and go, I did that in wherever it was. This year it was Cromer in Norfolk, and that was nice. We'd never been, so that was a good trip. And I don't know if we'll go again, but it's nice to look at this page and go, that was one place in time that I managed to capture through all of the separate little chaos page moments. So that was good. I was talking about mourning brooches. I never actually got one, but it was just nice to write about them, I think. And that's what I did. What else can I show you? These are lots of memory pages here. And I always struggle to show you the memory pages because they're the ones that mean the most to me. And they always feel a little bit vulnerable because you're writing about the memories that are like the things you thought about, and you know, sometimes you just want to keep that stuff for yourself, and that's allowed. But it's a funny experience to show things on the internet. I'm sure I have more pages than that to show you. But it's a funny experience to share things on the internet and then look back and go, oh, should I have shared that? I always worry that people are gonna like piece together my life through all the stuff. But I think what I post on Instagram is usually quite impersonal. I don't think you can gather much from the fact that I freaked out about some book that I read. I think that's quite a universal experience. Everyone has that. So I'm not too bothered. Ooh, August playlist. I'm sure there were more pages in August that I could have showed you, but I don't know if I want to risk it. Did I not have any more? No, I don't want to show this. Okay, playlist. Another playlist. I really like this one, so I kept in with the English summer theme of kind of apples and fruits. That was nice. And then I've stuck, these are from the same Regency Jane Austen ephemera pack, and I always stick in the vinyl stickers I get because they're nice to have, and I like the fonts of them. This is a particularly good album if you're looking for anything to listen to. I can show you this one as well. Well, hey, Hobonichi Day. And I'm probably saying it wrong. I do not know. They're the sort of words you only ever say to yourself when you're a stationary person and you're pronouncing all the things from different brands. You're usually only saying it in your head because no one around you seems to really get or understand it. So you keep it to yourself. But hey. So Hobonichi. That's what this notebook is for anyone who's not a seasoned Hobonichi professional, which I'm sure most of you are. But yeah, I also have a lot of thoughts about the paper switching and all that and the quality of Hobonichi books, because I don't know if you can see, but there is a little hole in the spine of my book now. I'll show you when I close it, but it's causing some problems. Every time I look at it, I go, oh no. My poor book. It's not very, not a good sight when you look at your book and go, oh my god, it's fallen apart. But it's fine. It hasn't fallen apart. Everything's still in the book, so that's important. But I bought my one for next year, which I did on Hobonichi Day. Later in the day, I didn't stay up and worry about it. But yeah, and I like to add songs sometimes. So yeah, that was a good page. I hope this is semi-interesting. Oh, I can show you this one. I didn't put this on social media at the time, and I kind of regret it because it's one of my favourite pages in the whole book. It really is, because I have kind of this English vintage patterns that was part of a Midori sticker set. And that's been really nice to use. I wish I bought more at the time because now I can't find them anywhere. I bought them at the London Graphic Centre and then I can't find them. But I usually write about, if I watch a particularly good TV show, I will write about it. I didn't watch this on Prime, by the way, because I do not support Prime. I don't have a Prime membership for anything. But I watched it, acquired it, and wrote about it because I think it's nice to document the really mundane things that you do. And I have, this was really good. I think just anything historical, comedy inspired, like it doesn't have to be more ahistorical than historical. I don't care if they get the details right, but that was really good, and I've learnt that the Decameron is a book about plague experiences, and now I want to read that. That's going to be on my to be read list. Not important, but now you know. And these stickers are from Hannah Bluish, the illustrator who makes the best things. Their work is just heavily featured in my book. I've got some of their Our Flag Means Death stuff as well, and that one's one of theirs as well. I just love their work and I really wanted those. Even before I'd watched the programme, I probably wouldn't have watched the programme if I didn't have the stickers to journal about it, which is, I guess, kind of stupid, but I love the way that me journaling about things influences what I watch, because I think, oh, I could write about that, and that's always nice. So I wrote about it, and this has turned out to be one of my favourite pages in the whole book. Probably the favourite page. The more I look at it, the more I'm like, that's a good page. See what else I can find. Oh, I can show you this one. September's Chaos page, but it kind of fell apart, so I don't know if this one counts as chaos. It's more organised chaos. And I like that I've kind of got things that match the medieval theme. And I also have some stickers that I used for my shop, and that's nice. It's always a nice thing to have. I hope you don't mind that this is just me rambling. I promise that in the future I'll have more of an idea of things I want to talk about and better organised things, but we will get there. I just need to sit and ramble for, I think, for the first video. Yeah, you can see this one. God, I flipped the page and I was like, what's behind the page? Not again. But yeah, this is the page. In fact, I could probably show you the one I flipped to earlier and then said, oh no. Yes, this one. You can see this one as well. It's self-explanatory. I didn't post it on... I think I posted it on stories, but I didn't post about it because, I don't know. I feel like if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. That's fine. But that's there. It's self-explanatory. It does what it says on the tin. Woohoo. And this is where I started talking about my notebooks more in the notebook, which is a thing I do more frequently now since I've had like a journaling crisis. And I do plan to make a video about how to get over a journaling crisis, if that's the sort of thing that would interest you. But yeah, I just tend to write about things that happen in the journal as they happen, and that's quite nice. It feels like me just talking to the journal about the journal, and that's a good thing. Can I show you this one? Yes. I got really inspired by this MT washi that I got from Choosing Keeping, and these Hours tapes, and this like Mr. Eggplant's fruit washi tape. It's a pet tape. Those stickers. Those were really inspiring to me to put together, and that's some of mine as well that add kind of a texture to it. That was towards the end of summer though, and I'd finally got the summer decoration that I wanted in this, and then I had to kind of cast it aside in favour of some things that were more autumnal, which is a bit of a shame, but I'll pull those things out next year. And I generally don't care too much about the seasons in terms of decorating if I don't want to, but it's also nice to match things to the seasons. I can't show you that. Let's start that again. This is where I began my theory test learning. I didn't pass the time that I wrote all this out, but the goal is to pass the next time, and that's okay. But at the minute, this is what I'm doing as well, is copying out road signs, and that helped. It did help, because now I know all the road signs. It just turns out that there's only like 2 questions on road signs in the whole theory test, which is fine. It just means I have to learn all the other stuff as well. But I thought it was good to commemorate that time period through this. And that's the thing, even the most impersonal information that you write down can be captured in these pages. What else can I show you? I don't know if I can show you that one. I'll show you this one. I didn't like this one at the time, and I don't think I like it now because of the colours. I think this throws me off. If the lamp wasn't there, and I love this lamp, it was one of the first things I ever drew digitally, but if this wasn't here, the page would be perfect, I think. But it is there, and sometimes you have to make peace with the page that's not quite perfect, and perfect not achievable anyway, but you know what I mean. Sometimes you do look at things in your journal and think, oh God, I hate that, and that's okay, because it means that you're more likely to do better next time, I think. Or at least that's the case with me. I don't even know what I can show you. This one. I can show you this one. What am I talking about? I can show you this one. This is one of my favourite pages of the year as well. Mostly because it feels so antiquarian with the antiquarian stickers. I think they're V&A collection stickers that were compiled into the antiquarian sticker books. And they're like my favourite images to use because they feel very botanical and a bit studious. They make your book look like a textbook, and that's nice. So I've got them, and some of my favourite people to buy stickers from as well. I can go through a whole video if you like of places that I buy stickers from. It's usually a small business because I prefer not to just buy bulk stickers on like Amazon per se. They're not my favourite places to go. I prefer to support small people that are making nice things. So that's what I do. And sometimes I'm the small person that makes nice things. And that's one of mine. Based on the morning brooches that I was telling you about earlier that I never bought, but I wanted to make a morning brooch that was kind of maybe a bit more macabre than a normal one. So that's what I came up with for Halloween. Woohoo, this is a good one. I really missed the kind of more collage-y style of some of my older books, so I thought I'd just bring it into this book because the Hobonichi cousin is great for having grids already laid out, and it means that you write in a straight line every time, and it's great, and that usually didn't happen for me. But it also means that I've lost kind of a more scrapbooky approach, which is, I think, now just me valuing my writing more now than I did in the past. In the past it was more about kind of ripping up bits of paper and sticking them in, and that's okay as well. But my words mean a lot to me now, so I always keep the words in too, and sometimes I write in different fonts. This page was a weird one because it went from pumpkin spice recipes to like the procrastination, the tower, tarot card, like existential doom. So that's okay. Sometimes that happens. And I really like this page as well. It feels like very, I don't know, they're all like little curated squares. It feels very tidy. I don't know how I managed to get this so tidy, but I like it. And it feels so warm. This was based on the prompt Warm Hues from Kia Creates' Inspiring Journals Challenge. And now every time I look at this page I think, wow, it captures such the warmness of autumn that I like a lot. So that's there. And this one, I was very much in keeping with the theme of a kind of purple October, and I usually draw a line here. This was a very standard layout for me in October specifically because I draw a line just after the time markings in the Hobonichi kind of margin and separate it out into 4 bits. And I always find that separating the page out into smaller sections makes them more manageable, especially in a big book like the A5 that you don't really want to write the whole. Sometimes you need a whole page, but sometimes you really don't. So I talk about reading and all sorts, and journaling crisis. So yeah. I'm glad to announce I'm outside of the journaling crisis now and I'm back in this book, and I feel so much better for it. And I was never away from this book. There was a minute where I toyed with the idea of a A5 filofax. I think just because I really like the idea of a filofax, but I like the A5 pages, and I was thinking of cutting pages out of this cousin and then hole punching them and putting them in a filofax so I could move things around, because that's interesting, but not necessary. I looked past all my old books. I looked through all my old books recently and kind of saw all the progress I've made in the Hobonichi cousin, and then I was like, I actually really want to stay in this and keep going. So that's what we're doing. We're just keeping going. And I worked through the journaling crisis. So this is good. What else can I show you? Let's see. I don't know what these pages are. Oh, I can show you this one. The Secret History. I haven't read it yet, so please don't give me spoilers. Every 200 pages, I've figured out in every 200 pages I read, I write about 2 pages of reading journaling. And this is without any quotes at all. This is just purely my thoughts. And I'm going to go back and add a page of quotes. I'm going to attach it to this page so that I've got the quotes that I wanted to keep. But I couldn't write them all out as well, which is what I usually do. I read Young Man, which is Lou Sullivan's diaries, and I wrote 8 pages about it, and that was a 600-page book. So that is about the rate that I go through pages for the books I read. And I can show you this one because it's got a picture of Missy. Missy's my cat, and I love Missy. I've used so many of these in the past, and this one. I love that I get to use my own stickers in here, and I use that one a lot in October. And it's nice to have every October in my books is different from the last October, and when I think of this October I'll think of these things, and that's nice. And I have some lino stamps here which I've carved and then wanted to put in some black ink that I bought recently, and I smudged this, which is kind of cool. It looks alright. Yeah. Can I show you that one? No. You're not seeing that one. I like the snail. You can't see that one. You can't see that one. Damn it. Yes, you can see this one. This is the next one. I read Megan Rhiannon's Home Alone Halloween zine, and that was my spooky October read. I should have read more, but I didn't in the end. I was reading The Secret History, so that's okay, I guess, to be reading 2 things and not have anything else really. One day I'll get to Frankenstein. I still haven't read it. I've read essays about it, but I haven't read it yet. And that's for next year, I think. Or maybe just a November read, a spooky November read. That would be fine. But I wanted to write about it because I've been following her work for a while, and the zine was nice. It was a nice Halloween experience, and it came with the sticker. So, and these are also from the Halloween collection, and then these are mine that I made, and some little textured. I've realised that half of the time I'm touching the book and the textures of the book as opposed to writing in the book. I flip through pages that I've already read or written and just feel the texture of the pages. So I've been trying to get some more textured stickers in, and I recently printed the gargoyles on textured paper, and that's been really nice to have some different textures going on in the book, because it is a sensory experience in the end, and that's sometimes what you write in the book for. I think writing is a sensory or tactile experience. But yeah. I also have this note from Babs, which I got with an order from ThePaperDiaries, which is Babs's shop. And I'll link that in the description as well. I'll remember. It'll be fine. And Babs sent me some happy mail of a sticky kit that she wasn't using. So I have lots of mermaid and pirate and nautical themed images for this book, which I'm really appreciating. I'm using them a lot this month, and I'm really enjoying them. So it's nice to have kind of a separate theme for each month. I always find that it's nice when you feel like time periods are all blending into one, to have things that you distinctly mark each time period by, to make them feel special. And that's often why I'm writing in the journal, because you have something to account for that stretch of time, be it a week, a day, a month, a year, you always have something at the end of it that feels like a product of your time, and it's not necessarily about the material aspect of that, of having something and possessing something. It's less possessive and more kind of a evidence-based, I don't know, just kind of proof that that time existed and that you did something. It doesn't have to be loads of things, but just something. So yeah, this is also made with some of the paper that I got in the Happy Mail from Babs, who is amazing. She themed the whole Happy Mail around images and things that were kind of nautical themed, which was really sweet and made for a really nice unboxing experience of that. So thank you, Babs, if you're watching. You said you will watch, and that makes me happy. So that's exciting. And I put some of my stickers in as well. This is a sea monster, a rendition, my own rendition of a sea monster from the Carta Marina, which is a big map that features sea monsters that I really like. So that's what that is, and I've added, these are all mine that I made, and that's another Carta Marina inspired ship. I love the Carta Marina. So yeah, and then things from the sticky kit that I got from Babs as well, and this is the Coffee Monsters Co. washi, which I'm sure you know. You know Helen, surely. I feel like I spend so much time in these little journaling circles that I expect everyone to know, but you might not. But chances are, if you know of me, you've heard of Helen from the Coffee Monsters Co. And Sticky, which is sticky with 2 eyes at the end. It's like a company of stickers. What else have we got? Can I show you that? Yes, I can show you this one. I really like office themed or like digital themed things in an analog book. So much so that I made some stickers based on like little web pop-ups that are journal themed. I'll show you closer. Ooh. And there's a prismatic star sticker that I got from a parcel from Megan Rhiannon, whose stickers are here as well, and that one. But the texture ones are mine. And yeah, these are by Eve Anderson Draws as well. And then like a little post-it note, which is very cute. I can't remember who made that because I got it from a physical shop. And it's so much harder when you get things from a physical shop to be able to see who made what, but if you ask me about it, I'm sure I can rustle up the name. So yeah, this is my page for Edinburgh, which is not completed yet. And this is my November Chaos page. This is the last page in here that's finished so far, because I've got nothing happening yet, apart from this, in lieu of me seeing Paddington hopefully on Wednesday. But yeah. Woohoo! I'm very aware now that the sun is going down, but I hope that you've enjoyed seeing my journal. I can't believe I've just talked for 40 minutes about it. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. And what else have I got to say? Thank you for being here. That would seem like the right thing to say. I didn't expect, I hit 10,000 Instagram followers this week, and I just didn't, the numbers, I mean, I don't know how big 10,000 is as a number. I don't know what that looks like, but it's just nice to be able to have people that like journals as much as I like journals follow me, and we have little interactions, and I get to talk to people, and it's just nice. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you journaled along to it, because I can't imagine you sitting and watching this. I promise my videos will hopefully be more riveting in the future, but I have a feeling I would literally just watch people journal for hours while I journal, so I hope that this was in some way helpful. But yeah, thank you for being here.